This episode of Dakota Destinations is presented by Vern Ide Motoplex.
You got it. Yep.
Nice one. Nice fish. That's beautiful.
That is a beauty. Look at that one. Wow. Welcome to Dakota Destinations. Coming up on tonight's show, we'll take you to western South Dakota, where you'll meet a championship coyote caller. Also tonight, the National Archery in the Schools program is a big hit in the Dakotas. But now, we're off to our first destination, Stanley County, South Dakota.
This is my brother-in-law, or my brother's in-law's ranch, right up on Lake Oahe. I believe they have around 30,000 acres. It's a peninsula that sticks out into Lake Oahe, so to speak. Water on three sides of it. It's perfect for coyote hunting.
Jeff Rehberg has coyote hunting in his blood.
I know there's a pair in here. I've hunted them, saw them in here 2 or 3 times this year, and never been able to get on them. So hopefully they're here today.
We join him along the breaks and rolling hills west of Pierre. It's toward the end of what he considers the coyote hunting season. The conditions? Windy. Very windy. A red flag day.
They don't like the wind any more than we do. So just crawl down in there with them. Sometimes you crawl too far and sometimes not far enough, but they'll come if they can hear us. You know, they're not going to come a long ways, but that was awesome. That's how fast it happened. We walked right in on top of it. It was curled up in that clover right below us. Part of the lung. Definitely got it. Should be pretty easy to find, shouldn't it? Blood here. Ha ha! Got her. Ooh, icky one. We did everything right. We came in quiet. I believe we woke him up. See how mangy and licey it is. And I think that's lice, but it's also, they're losing their winter hair, but he's icky. But the cows they're not 600 yards from us. So we used that to our advantage, knowing that the coyotes hang around the cows at this time of year. It worked.
His hunting area is not far from his office, and the two pretty much go hand in hand. Jeff is president of the Varmint Hunters Association, a group of outdoorsmen across all 50 states and 37 foreign countries. The group publishes the Varmint Hunter magazine, a quarterly publication.
It's not just about what the name says. We also have accurizing your rifle, building a new rifle, learning how to shoot long range. So it's got a variety of articles in it. We also pride ourselves in, if you subscribe to the magazine and you want to write an article, we will publish that. Not all magazines do that.
After growing up on a ranch west of Pierre, he began hunting coyotes in the early 90s. It was a hobby. And then he called in his first coyote, and the hobby became a passion.
You need to know what the coyote's saying. You need to know what the body language is. If you don't pay attention, yeah, you'll probably call in a coyote. Well, if you are paying attention and that coyote barks at you or howls at you, what is it saying? Well, that's what I want to know, and that's what I've been studying.
He does his studying, as he calls it, here in the classroom, the rolling hills of western South Dakota, and he doesn't skip many classes. because these days, Jeff is all in on coyote hunting.
What gives me the most satisfaction is knowing that I set up in the right spot. Knowing that I fooled them. You know, I'm in their living room, so to speak. I'm sitting in their chair, and they came in.
2 years ago, he and his partner reached the pinnacle of their craft, winning the coyote calling national championship.
We tried for a lot of years, and it finally worked for us. We put a lot of work into it, and the competitors that we competed against were some of the best in the country, and I've tried to beat them over the years, and finally it was our turn. It was cool. It was really cool. My favorite go-to, and I believe every caller in the world has one, it's the critter call. That's what I broke my teeth on. I mean, you can do everything on them, anything on them, from a rabbit to a howl to pup, you know, hurt pup. It's the all-around call. It really is. What would you like to hear? Little rabbit. You can howl on the same one. I've since found these diaphragm howlers, and I really, really like them. They're super easy to blow. I've tried them before, and it tickled the roof of my mouth, and you know, the gag reflex. They're actually very user-friendly. So that's my arsenal. In today's age of calling, you need a different sound than everybody else is using. So I have 4 different sounds here that I use, and that seems to be working. He's a good neighbor with good gates.
He generally spends 15 to 20 minutes at each set, sometimes longer if he's sure there are coyotes in the area. He glasses, he listens, he watches, he calls. All in an attempt to fool one of the wisest predators of all.
Walking into a coyote's living room is like walking into your living room. You know where you put your glass of water, you know where every picture is, or every cup saucer is on your end table. A coyote knows exactly what's in his living room too. You know, he'll come over this hill and see us. Ooh, something's not right. Well, don't move. That's why we do this, baby. Saw him come down the hill quietly. I mean, you could barely see him. He used the clover to his advantage. Teeth are chipped from fighting. There's a chip off the front here. That's all from missing a tooth over here. Just from fighting. I love it. I do. I do. The jitters that you get and everything. It's cool. I love doing it. I love being out here, and you know, I can do it all day and see one coyote and I'd be happy.
Coming up next, we'll take you inside a Phi-Ed class where the tools are bows and arrows.
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by Vern Ide Motoplex. Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by Vern Idy Motoplex.
What do you remember about Phi Ed class? The presidential fitness test, games like kickball and dodgeball? Well, there's a new program sweeping the Dakotas, the National Archery in the Schools program.
Bring it straight, bring it straight. There you go, there you go.
Across the Dakotas,
Why not?
an archery revival is taking place.
Get the string up to your nose.
It's being taught in schools and after school programs, and youngsters are showing a big interest.
You know, there's a lot of sports programs in the schools. You know, everybody's got a great football program. It might be a softball program. It might be a volleyball program. But not every kid can participate in those programs. And this is one sport that everybody gets to participate. That doesn't mean that everybody's a winner. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. But everybody gets a shot. Nobody sits on the bench. And because nobody sits on the bench, they want to come. They want to do it. They all get to do it.
It's called Archery in the Schools. It was born in Kentucky in 2011. The goal was to get a generation of young people engaged in shooting sports, teach outdoor skills, and get them excited about outdoor pastimes like hunting and fishing. And what began in Kentucky at the state level quickly became a national program. And North Dakota communities like Hankinson quickly jumped aboard, forming partnerships between the school district and local wildlife clubs.
The Wildlife Club many years ago wanted to institute the NAS, archery program in the school. We heard about it. We knew the Game and Fish Department was sponsoring it with some grant funds to help get it started. And we thought it would be a good program for kids to get involved in.
Joel Amera was a key player in bringing the Archery in the Schools program to Hankinson. So was elementary school principal Ann Bewer.
I went out and solicited kids to do this. I did it 3, 4 at a time.
Kids like Race Calf, a teenager involved in archery, who jumped at the chance to get more involved in the sport.
I always liked hunting and fishing, and this was kind of in the setup of hunting and fishing. And it all started in 4th grade in Phi Ed. One day we were shooting archery, and I was shooting with my buddy, and I grabbed just a little bow, and I shot a 10. And I was like, okay, well, this could be pretty fun. So all of a sudden I talked to Joel a little bit about it, and he said, yeah, we can start shooting archery.
It's an individual challenge. This is something you can do year-round. You can practice at home, you can practice as a team. Some of the volunteers do individual lessons. So there's nothing they can do but to try to get better.
Your elbow hyperextends a little bit. So I want you to try this. Go ahead, pull back. And now, there you go. There you go. Bring it out like so. Now back with your hand. There you go. All right?
Here in Hankinson, archery is taught in Phi Ed class and outside of school through the Pirate Archery Club, a group of committed volunteers, certified instructors, willing to share their time to teach the sport.
The NAS program does not allow you to use any releases or aids. It's strictly up to the individual, his skill, and his knowledge to allow the arrow to go where it goes. So everybody uses the same bow. Everybody is even here. Everybody gets the same amount of participation. It's up to the individual to advance over another individual.
I am in basketball and football and baseball in the summertime. I practice archery once a week on Sundays usually.
Nice, bullseye.
Basketball and football are very competitive, so is archery. Basketball and football, you need to have height and weight and muscle. Archery, you can be the shortest guy, the littlest guy. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be anything like that. All you need to do is just pull back the bow and let the arrow fly.
And if the arrow flies to the sweet spot of the target often, these kids could be on to the national tournament, where more than 12,000 youngsters compete.
The shooting line is a 1/4 mile long. It's got 2 shooters per lane. It's 235 lanes. If you have to talk to someone and they're on the other end of the lane, you have to get there in a hurry and try to get back.
Word is spreading fast that archery is fun, competitive, and for everybody.
We've talked to enough schools in the area here where now they're getting involved, and so we have other schools that we participate here. We go to shoots at their school and they come to shoot here, and these kids can hone their skills. Are we adjusting our hand the way it's supposed to be? And okay. And when they do well and they come back and say, do you know what I shot today? And they say what they did, and I'm going, that's great. And they just got this smile on their face. I guess that makes it worth it.
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by Vern Ide Motoplex.
Welcome back. The number of schools taking part in the Archery in the Schools program is growing year by year. One of the more active schools is located in Richland County in southeastern North Dakota.
Everybody on the line?
The 6th grade Phi Ed class is underway in Hankinson, North Dakota.
These are just practice.
There'll be no basket shot, no balls kicked into the net.
This class is serious. They mostly bring their personal bows.
Archery is the name of the game today.
We're going to learn how to score today. So we have a scorecard here. If you're in an archery tournament or an archery competition, this is what you use.
Elementary principal Ann Beaver was instrumental in bringing the Archery in the Schools program to Hankinson.
Well, it was 5 years ago when the North Dakota Game and Fish Department offered each school a startup grant to start National Archery in the Schools program. We applied for the grant and received it, and with that we got bows, arrows, netting, and 10 targets.
Beaver and others in Hankinson were curious how students would react to having archery introduced into the Phi Ed curriculum. The answer came quickly.
We have roughly 240 students in our school right now, and we have about 65 students that practice archery in grades K through 3rd grade through 12th grade. And the numbers grow every year. So that's a good percentage of our number of our students are willing to be committed to getting better at archery.
8, 7, 9.
Beaver is one of 11 certified archery instructors in Hankinson.
I got a 5.
We had a 4th grader that got a 50 today, his very first 50.
And now, just like those more traditional Phi Ed offerings, archery is part of the culture in Hankinson schools. For an educator, it addresses a student's motivation, behavior, attitude, and focus. For wildlife groups, it encourages young people to get involved in the outdoors.
We do at least a 2 to 3 week archery unit in the school, and it is offered from grades 4th grade to grade 12. This year we did 4th grade through 9th grade, being that that's as much time as we have in a full day to get every class in. And it's for all students, special needs students, all the way up to the highest level students. In the individual challenge, once they learn it, they can only challenge themselves to get better.
The number of schools and students taking part in the Archery in the Schools program in North Dakota is growing rapidly. At the state event earlier this spring in Minot, 550 elementary, middle, and high school students competed. 150 schools have implemented the project, with an estimated 5,000 North Dakota youngsters taking part.
I guess I first got started into archery when I was about 4 years old. My brother had a longbow, and we would get a couple of arrows and go shoot at straw bales.
Lisa Buckhouse is a 4-time state archery champion.
Me and a couple of the other people brought it up that we should get archery and that we should get the town involved with archery.
She was one of the first ones in the program. She was really young. She was like, I believe she was like a 4th grader or 3rd grader. Seemed to take to it. She wanted to, seemed like this was something she wanted to do.
It calms my nerves. I don't have to think of anything else besides archery. I can get out of school. I can get out of all my other personal problems. And I guess it's just relaxing for me.
When the program was launched, there was hope it would fuel a youngster's appetite for outdoor sports. Buckhouse is proof that's happening. Students are taking what they learn here in the gym and spending time pursuing game and fish.
In the past couple of years, I've got into hunting and everything. Before I never was, until about 3 years ago, because nobody in my family hunts or anything really. And now that's all I do. I go bow fishing in the springtime, in the summertime. I guess I have a knack for a shotgun and a muzzleloader. I'm not good at sports, so this is something I can be good at.
This has taught students to do outdoor activities a lot more, outdoor sports. My daughter, for instance, started bow hunting as a 6th grader and got her first deer. How much excitement is that for her? And we shared it with everybody, the pictures, excitement. We have other students that are doing bow hunting too. And when they can share those pictures, well, those stories, it's kind of fun. Move your quivers back.
Hankinson's hard work paid off at the recent state championships, with state titles in the elementary and high school division.
Did our first year, we had 18 kids that stayed in the program. To this date, we probably went through about 100 to 120 kids that have been trained. Once you get into it, it's kind of addictive. You get hooked to it. You come, you shoot, you see your score better, you see your skills improve, you see, you set yourself goals, and they meet them, and because of that, they keep coming back.
How was that for scoring? All right? Good. Okay, ready to go back? Okay, did a good job today.
Coming up next week on Dakota Destinations, South Dakota goes out of the country to transplant bighorn sheep into the Black Hills. Hope to see you next week.